In this video, I have reviewed the best cheap Samsung phones for you. Let's get started. Number 5. Samsung Galaxy A05. Samsung continues to meet the phone needs of those who say affordable but functional. It will delight your eyes with its 6.7-inch PLS LCD screen with 720p resolution and 60Hz refresh rate, but don't expect a riot of colors like AMOLED. Samsung has put a MediaTek Helio G85 processor in this phone. It's enough for everyday tasks, but if you're thinking, I'm going to play Call of Duty on my phone, stop and think. It comes with a choice of 4GB or 6GB RAM, so you may need to be a little patient when multitasking. Storage: 64GB and 128GB options, but if you're a selfie freak, don't forget a micro SD card. It has a 50-megapixel primary camera and a second 2-megapixel lens on the back. The selfie camera is 8 megapixels. Does a good job in daylight, but you may have to pray for night shots. Still, it does a better job than most budget phones. Not for us. Thanks to the 5,000 mAh battery, no more searching for a charger in the middle of the day. You can even see 2 days with light use. 25-watt fast charging support. The current price of the phone is $97. Number 4. Samsung Galaxy A 25.65-inch Super AMOLED display. Yes, you heard right. AMOLED, which means blacks are now really black and colors are vibrantly vivid. Scrolling with a 120Hz refresh rate, the phone screams, "I'm fluid!" But beware, this screen can drag you into the Instagram pit. There's a 50-megapixel main camera on the back and it works well in daylight. Next to it is an 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera, which is a lifesaver for those who say, we're taking photos with friends, but everyone fits. There's a 2-megapixel macro camera, but let's be honest, how many people take macro shots? The 13-megapixel selfie camera on the front does its job, but it's advisable to leave the filters and beauty modes on, because the question, why did I come out like this, may bother you. Inside, there's an Exynos 1280 processor. It's very smooth in everyday use, but if you're thinking, I'll be playing PUBG at the highest graphics, you might need to be a bit realistic. It comes with 6GB or 8GB of RAM, so you don't need to panic when you open a few apps. There are also 128GB and 256GB storage options, but if that's still not enough for you, there's a micro SD card slot waiting for you. The dual speaker system creates a surround sound feel. It has a very high capacity battery with 5,000 mAh. This battery can run on a single charge for up to 2 days with normal intensive use. For a $188 phone, it's pretty good. Number 3. Samsung Galaxy A05s. It comes with a plastic body and classic Samsung design lines. It doesn't feel premium in the hand, nor does it weigh down your pocket. Now, let's talk about its claim to have the biggest screen, a 6.7-inch PLS LCD display. Yes, it's big, but it comes with full HD plus resolution, meaning it offers a slightly clearer picture than its HD plus brother, the A05. Bad news for those asking, is there AMOLED? Number. So the blacks aren't quite black, but it's still a good enough screen for everyday use. Samsung has put a Snapdragon 680 processor in this phone. For those of you who are excited, wow, Snapdragon, please calm down. This processor is enough for everyday tasks, but for those who say, I'm going to play games, and at the highest settings, it's a little modest option. It comes with 4GB or 6GB RAM options, so it's better not to open up too much in multitasking. On the storage side, there is 128GB of space and micro SD card support is also available. Samsung may have wanted to say, don't be fooled by appearances, again when it comes to the camera. There is a 50-megapixel main camera and it works very well in daylight, but when it comes to night shots, things change a bit. I'm shooting, but you can't see much. It has a 5,000 mAh battery. The current price of the phone is $124. Number 2. Samsung Galaxy A15. Its reliable performance, good battery life make it one of the best phones you can get for $199. In your hand, the A15 feels solid, but lacks a bit of the polish of more expensive Galaxy S models. Dragon Trail Pro Glass protects the screen, but the back and frame are plastic. It doesn't have an IP rating. A 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display takes up most of the phone's face, but there's a prominent bezel around it that's thicker than what you usually see on more expensive phones. Seeing an AMOLED display in this segment is literally like winning the lottery. The refresh rate is 90Hz, and the maximum brightness is 800 nits. As for performance, Samsung has opted for the MediaTek Helio G99 processor. If you ask, is it good or bad? We can say, it's just okay. It is enough for applications such as Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, and daily use. On the RAM side, there are 4GB, 6GB, and 8GB options. If you are a patient person, you can get the version with 4GB RAM, but if you say, I want to fly between tabs, choose the 8GB version. As for storage, there are 128GB and 256GB options. If it's not enough, there's micro SD card support up to 1 TB. In terms of speakers, Samsung has set expectations a bit low. It comes with a single speaker, so no stereo. If you want a little more depth while listening to music or watching a movie, you need to wear a headset. The back of the phone has a 50-megapixel main camera, a 5-megapixel ultra-wide angle camera, and a 2-megapixel macro camera. As for the front camera, there is a selfie camera with a resolution of 13 megapixels. It is quite good for its price. It has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. You can charge it in the morning and use it comfortably until the evening. If you don't play with the phone a lot, it can even last 1.5 to 2 days. Number 1. Samsung Galaxy A16. Samsung does not intend to give up the plastic body. Galaxy A16, like its siblings, has a plastic design. Now let's talk about the screen. 6.6-inch IPS LCD display. If you ask, is there AMOLED? I'm sorry, but no. But at least it has Full HD plus resolution and 90 Hz refresh rate. At the heart of the Galaxy A16 is the MediaTek Helio G88 processor. So if you say, it's enough for daily tasks, but I'll play games with it, you should lower your expectations a bit. RAM options come in 4 GB, 6 GB, and 8 GB. If you are a person who likes to multitask, get at least 6 GB. Otherwise, you may experience I entered Instagram, WhatsApp closed syndrome. As for storage, there are 128 GB and 256 GB options, and you can insert a micro SD card if it's not enough. There's a 50-megapixel main camera, a 5-megapixel ultra-wide angle camera, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor. The front camera is 13 megapixels and is good enough for selfies. It has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. A standout feature is the IP54 rating, which means it withstands small splashes and dust without any problems, which is rare in phones at this price level if spills or drops worry you. Samsung also promises 6 years of updates, something rare in budget models. Most affordable phones lose software and security updates after a few years, but the A16 guarantees long-term support. For a $210 phone, this is pretty good. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and write your favorite in the comments.